Yeah, welcome to the Recycle Misfits of Recycling Garage.
Oh, it's like you're there.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Now, coming to you from the Recycle Garage. I can't even.
Sunny.
In very windy and blustery.
In blustery Santa Cruz.
Wet and windy.
California.
Blustery.
It's only 70 miles an hour wind.
It is. It's a shit show out there. I'm just going to say it. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and yeah, we're in the midst of a mega storm right now, hoping that the power stays on so we can continue the show. But that didn't stop everyone from coming here to be on the show today, and I really appreciate that.
Hey, we show up for our buddies.
Hey.
It's a full house.
That's right, we do.
So let's get to who is here with me on the Classy Girl Couch. It's Miss Emma.
Tra-la-la. It's actually called a Pineapple Express, darling, because the storm originates in...
Pineapple.
Yeah, no, it originates in Hawaii and gathers steam as it comes across the Pacific, to be specific.
And pineapples.
And pineapples.
Excuse me.
Bless you, darling.
Do you have a mouthful of mallow?
No, actually, I have a mouthful of Lebkuchen, courtesy of one of our guests.
Yes.
And joining us, well, you heard him on the intro. It's Charley.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what
it's
you
me.
get. It's pretty much what you see is what you get with Charley. I think that's one of the things we all appreciate. There's no surprises. There's no mystery.
I'll surprise you every time.
It's Charley. It's just Charley. Yep. I'll always dependably Charley.
Yep.
He's a good egg.
Yeah. He all right. That's what I say. He all right. And taking Jim's seat because Jim just got back from his, as I call it, idiots on idiots desert trip. We'll get to that. So taking Jim's seat, it's Kat.
Skull! I hear Jim can't be here because he still has sand in his eye.
He's seen things. He's done things.
The cookies that Emma's noshing away on, and which you will hear on your mic, are McLeod ginger targes. Handmade by myself. If you want a really disturbing image, imagine a slightly worn, aging, and rotund Viking wearing a kitchen apron and making cookies. Yeah, that's
you
me.
perfectly described me.
Oh, there's a cat loose in here as well.
Yeah. But of course, also equally reliable.
Oh, yes.
It's Bagel.
Greetings from the very relatively mild Pacific Northwest.
So I'm presuming, Bagel, that the storm didn't hit you. It's all a California thing.
Pretty much. We've had a little bit of rain here and there, just some showers that have passed through, but nothing too big. We actually had a pretty temperate week. We last weekend and in the beginning of last week, we had nice enough weather to go out riding for a couple of days.
Good Lord.
So that was nice. I got out and enjoyed that.
Yeah, fantastic. No, and actually, I have to say, California is quite mild right now, even by California standards. But it's like 70 miles an hour wind, and anytime the rain is horizontal, it's always a bad thing.
Well, yeah. And you were stuck in traffic coming here because as we call it, the fishhook, which is a freeway interchange, that's backed up because it looks like they're closed the highway where it goes over the river, the bridge, which I think is a safety thing. And then Charley got caught behind a tree down coming from another direction.
Yeah, a tree fell on top of a car in front of me.
And Kat came the furthest distance and came unscathed, so that's good.
Yep. No, there's just a couple of, obviously idiots who do not know how to drive in the rain. Yeah. Wrecks here and there, but thankfully no serious backups.
Yeah, and Scotty was here. Hanging out with me in the garage, and then Scotty got a text and was like, shit, I gotta go. Showed me a picture of the house across the street. The entire tree fell onto the neighbor's house, but even like the tree roots took out like the whole fence to the other house.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
wow.
So we brag often about our weather being so wonderful, and that's because it is wonderful, like 360 days a year.
For the most part.
And then there are 5 days that
just horror.
That are just horror. And I think they were saying that San Francisco this weekend was going to get 3 years of rain in 6 hours.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just so, we're in the middle of it. So
our best client, Laird Escapes, is up in Tahoe right now. His job is he drives a snowplow, and anytime he does overtime, that's money for his trip for me. So anytime there's heavy snow up there, that means he's coming and taking the trip. So he's hard at work right now, pushing tons of snow.
And actually, they have pretty wild weather events in England. I vividly remember, back in the late 80s, I mean, it's become almost legendary. There was this, I think it was around November 87 or something. There was, there's going to be a small storm. And it's like thousands of trees down, houses flattened, power out for a week. Well, we may have underestimated.
Do the English do the same thing of understatement that the Aussies do? When like things are absolutely horrific and it's a horrible, it was a bit warm.
Yes, exactly. Everything was on fire.
Yeah.
My favorite is always from the police. He's helping us with our inquiries, which basically means he's been beaten up and thrown in the back of a cell. Yes, he's helping us with our inquiries.
So I just wanted to jump into.
Yes.
Here, let me pass some of these.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Yes.
We have a bunch of emails from our topic last week. I just want to. Well, our side topic, our controversial subject. I wanted to just kind of read these, and then we're gonna get to this. Okay.
All right.
So this is in regards to dyeing your brake fluid. Kat, Charlie, you're kind of new to this. We're filling you in. The concept, the theory that I put out there is there anything you can add to your master cylinder that would color the fluid so that as you're flushing it through, when you have completed the flush? That's the question.
Right. Yeah,
it sounds like a good concept,
and it's a wonderful concept. But
it's a question.
It's a question.
I've done more research, but we also have some responses I want to get to. Let me get this short one, and you can do that. This one is from David, who says,
David,
for bleeding brakes, can't you make sure all of the fluid has been replaced volumetrically? If you have bled out more fluid than the tank holds, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that most of the old fluid is out of the system?
Incredibly smart.
This is a very common opinion on all the forums I was reading.
Yeah, and I mean,
so my question is, what is the volume of the fluid in my KTM 990 that goes from the master cylinder up to the ABS system and back down to the caliper? What is that volume? How do I know what that is?
It is X.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because it's not just the cylinder, it's also all the fluid in the lines you have to consider. I mean, how expensive really is brake fluid versus how badly do you want your brakes to feel nice and firm? I just always give it a bit of extra myself.
I like it when you feel like you're crushing a brick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that brick crushing feel.
But I liked the idea of adding something to it. So the question is, what can you add that is not deleterious to your lines or your system and also is a clear color?
The tears of your enemies.
Well, but if you have any air or gunge or whatever in the freaking brake system, replacing all the fluid doesn't necessarily get the air bubble out.
Actually, you know what? Tears of the sobbing scooterist. You see, you missed out on a valuable marketing opportunity there, Bagel, because you could collected all those crocodile tears you shed in that film, and then sell them as brake fluid indicators.
I'm not quite sure. Are his tears blue or something?
Well, I
should know.
I should think they're salty and ginger colored, like the rest of him.
but alas, they are not hygroscopic.
Nasty business.
I wanted to share another response.
Yes.
And this one is from our good friend Phil Waters, who I thought had a reasonable response that gave me a little more hypothetical information. And I'm going to say one of the things, a lot of the people responded, just don't do it. And then my question is, why not?
Right. And
what are some of the things? Now, my theory is hypothetical. So people's responses of why you shouldn't. I accept hypothetical responses because none of us really have done the test.
Yes.
So what Phil said is 100% right. Adding anything to your .3 or .4 brake fluid is begging for problems. Hygroscopic is only one element of brake fluid. The dye in question could react in an unknowable number of ways with all the other elements of your braking system. One thing that comes immediately to mind would be forming small crystals that could damage seals and mating surfaces inside an ABS system.
Right.
All right. Just bleed your brakes carefully. You'll be fine. So I appreciate that. Something I didn't consider. We were talking about what are some of the possible things. Well, one, boiling point would lower. Right. Corrosion and possibly crystallization.
And
That's interesting.
And gelling as well. This is a very
gelling of the fluid.
Yeah, gelling of the fluid, thickening. And this is something that people don't realize. And I encourage you, if you have an old bike in the garage, and you've replaced the brake lines with, stainless steel lines, take the old rubber lines and cut them and have a look at what they're actually like, because they're about the diameter of your pinky.
It's like clogging of your artery kind of thing.
The hole in the middle is very small indeed. Everyone gets this impression that brake hose, a rubber brake hose, because it's the size of your pinky diameter.
It's really thick.
Yeah, but the hole within
so it doesn't expand.
Isn't. And I've come across many, many bikes on the ramp. Funnily enough, European bikes seem to suffer from this a little bit more, of where the brake hose itself is clogged. And the easiest thing to do when you have a clogged brake hose, throw it away. Because it basically means that the internal structure of the hose is breaking down. And that's another thing, as Phil quite rightly points out, the hygroscopic nature is just one element.
Yeah.
Gelling, crystallization, acidity. You might change the acidic or alkaline nature of the fluid to where it starts eating away at the hoses. So, and once they start eating away inside, you're asking for a plugged hose. And believe you me, if you've got a plugged brake hose, you compound the problem, because it plugs, and then you're pumping away at it, and you're ramming more fluid and debris behind it, and really compacting that plug down. Like I say, the easiest thing, if you've got a plugged hose, throw it away.
You have an email there to read, Emma?
I do indeed. And it's really a corroboration of what everybody else has said. But the second paragraph, I think, is just lovely. So, this is from Daniel Rogers.
Hey, Daniel.
Cheers, Daniel.
And this email clearly comes from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Ha-ha! You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
For those of you who are younger than 50, there used to be a TV program on involving a kind of very sweet but creepy guy, but actually turned out to be a decent guy who did a children's show for a long time.
Oh, and you know what? There was also, this is a callback to a conversation we had before we started recording. There's a train on Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
No. Yes, there is.
We're not talking about that subject. No. I mean, I don't mind controversy on the show, but certain things that are in the shape of certain things from your childhood is very taboo. Anyway, let's go to it. This is from Daniel Rogers. Hello, Misfits. First, long-time listener / fan. And I've even written in a couple of times. More on that later, but first, brake fluid. No. And that was actually in capital letters. Do not add anything to your brake fluid. Please listen to Miss Emma. I'm not a mechanic, but I am a chemistry professor. Bloody hell, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
True, my expertise is not brake fluid chemistry, but that's okay. Brake fluid is a corrosive fluid, literally eating the parts of your bike you spill it on. That is largely true. Anything you add to the reservoir has the potential to react unfavorably and compromise the composition of your brake fluid or the hoses or other hardware in the system. These reactions may even introduce gases into your brake line. That's true.
Oh, gases. That's a new one.
Yes. Not worth the risk. Save $2. Buy the proper DOT fluid for your bike. You do not need a colour change to effectively flush your system. It's not some Hollywood colonic. Hey, I want a Hollywood colonic.
Right, he's smart and funny.
This is how we clean glassware in the lab. We rinse everything at least 3 times. It's also how I applied this concept to clean and maintain my braking system. On my bike, I estimate the volume of the brake system or look it up in the shop manual. For example, if your master cylinder is 5 cm by 3 cm by 3 cm, 45 millilitres. This is simple math. We learnt this at our mathematics teacher's knee.
But as we said, you're not including...
Right. The hoses are about 5 millimetre in diameter, ID 2.5 millimetre radius and 1 metre long, another 20 millilitres.
Wait a minute. Was that external measurement or internal?
He gave both.
Okay.
That's a total of about 65 millilitres. If you want to be safe, add another 10 to 20 millilitres for the cylinders. I'd actually go higher than that. Simply measure the volume you recover from the bleed screw. If you've recovered 3 volumes, which is 195 to 200 millilitres, you've pushed more than enough fluid through to flush the system. 200 millilitres of soda bottle, which also happens to be a handy vessel to bring the spent brake fluid back to the auto parts store. Finally, on my brake lecture, always open a new bottle for each service. Very, very smart, because...
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Well, hang on.
Hydroscopic.
Brake fluid is literally sucking moisture out of the atmosphere.
Then why don't they sell tiny bottles?
Well, they do. Well, the bottles buy are usually for cars.
Right.
Which has a much larger master cylinder.
And if you actually buy motorcycle-specific brake fluid, like the stuff we use at Mototown, it comes in smaller bottles, about half the size. Even so, I've been so conditioned. I get a lot of brake jobs in, so I don't change the bottle for every job. But I do 2 things. The first thing you notice when you take the lid off a brake fluid bottle...
Little foil thing.
Is a little foil thing.
Right.
Rather than rip it off, I punch 2 tiny little holes in it. The first tiny little hole is to let the fluid out. The second tiny little hole is to let the air in while you're pushing the fluid out. I also, and this may be overkill... I've got this giant box of O-rings. I'll stick an O-ring under the lid and screw it back on when I'm done with it. That extends the life to maybe a week before, it's gotten...
Yeah, I'm just going to say, we've got brake fluid out there. It's been out there for years.
Yes.
And truthfully, it's probably okay.
But did you finish that email?
Anyway, lecture done. This is the second paragraph. This is my favourite. I also wanted to say thank you to Miss Emma. A number of years ago, she sent out Emma's Army stickers, which I gave to my kids to put on their toolboxes. My daughter built doll furniture, and my son builds model cars and robots. Jump forward many years. My daughter just got her driving license. Oh, God, I feel so old. Before I let her get her license, I made her change the oil and change a tyre on the car because I think that's something she should know how to do, even if in the future she chooses to pay someone else to do it for her.
It's a good father.
She's the one that remembered and commented on the Miss Emma's Army sticker on her long-forgotten toolbox. Thank you, Miss Emma. That little sticker, all those years ago, helped to normalise tools and working and designing with your hands to both my then little girl and little boy. I'm very grateful. Dan from Cape Cod.
I got my first toolbox when I was 5.
That is just... And for me...
I suddenly want an Emma's Army sticker.
Well, there are still around. I'll give you an Emma's Army sticker. For me, I really got into making model kits, and it was very clumsy at first, but I always enjoyed the exactness of it. And if you can make a replica of something that's very, very small, and then I always used to do the same thing. I'd build these fantastic aircraft or whatever, and then I'd hold it really close up to my eye and look inside, and you could see the pilot's controls and the dashboard on it and all stuff like that. And I used to love doing stuff like that. And that really gave me the background to become a mechanic, because you get used to working with your hands. That becomes normalized. You'd be surprised the amount of people who are terrified of working with their hands.
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, but you still do it.
Yeah,
but a lot of people can't get beyond that terror. But the second thing, if you want to build a model kit that actually looks like a real aeroplane or a real car, you've got to do it correctly. And then that instills in you there is a correct way to do things. And usually the correct way to do things is to pick up the instruction manual and read the technique. And if you apply that technique, then it's going to come out well. Well, fast forward to being a mechanic. Every single one of us use workshop manuals. Yep. Nowadays, we're very lucky because they're online. But even today, DRZ 400 on the workshop ramp. Oh, God, I can't remember the frigging valve clearances. So you go into the workshop manual, and there's all the genuine manuals you could possibly want. There's the valve clearances I need. Set them to maximum. Send the bike out the door.
I mean, that's a fascinating story. Let's get back to brake fluid.
Okay.
So, I got another email from Peter Hively, and he says basically the same thing, adding dye to brake fluid. In my opinion, Emma's right. Don't do it, and don't encourage others to do it. The chemical properties of the brake fluid and the seals in the brake system are carefully matched. It's just not a good idea to mess with that if you don't know what you're doing. But Liza's idea isn't terrible. In fact, it used to be done all the time with a product called ATE Super Blue. So, I want to share with you my extensive research on this subject. And what's fascinating is the conversation that we had and the opinions of somebody saying, well, why can't you do it? And then other people saying, don't do it. Just don't do it. And other people saying, why do you want to do it? Like, it's been repeated over and over and over again in the VW form, in the Porsche form, in the Camaro form, in the racing form, in I went back to like 2005 and people having the same conversation and the same responses over and over and over. So I thought it was interesting that, this has been happening. We've been here before. We will be here again, right? So what he referred to, what most people did, there were a lot of people who, like I said, I want to see a color so I know when it's flushed through.
Right.
And it was easy to do because you could use the Super Blue. So what is Super Blue? Super Blue is a product made by ATE. They made a yellow brake fluid and a blue brake fluid, and it's really common to fluctuate between the two so that you would know when you flush through. And this was a common thing. Now, it's usually like car guys or racers, people who flush often. But then again, even racers, they know their bike so well, they know exactly the volume. Like it's just a repeat thing.
Yes.
But, people who are wrenching and trying to get better performance, they're the ones who are like, I just switched back and forth when I needed it. So why is ATE Super Blue no longer available? There was a state mandate or a federal mandate that said that all brake fluid needs to be amber. And I believe this was due to people putting the wrong fluid in, which can then result catastrophically. In fact, I found there was a report of an accident where somebody's brakes went out and the family died, kind of thing, because they had put the wrong fluid in or something, right?
They put water wetter,
something like that. So that was 2013 that the federal mandate said all fluid needs to be amber. So a lot of the people who were having these conversations were the ones who were used to that system, and they started saying, "What else can I put in?" And there were some people who were like, well, I put 5 drops of, food coloring. And then the same conversation we had, I'm not going to repeat it because everyone said the same thing. Then someone else would come in with something new, some more information. And every now and then there's somebody who would break it down and say, well, in fact, if you look at the allowances on brake fluid, because it's hygroscopic, how much water can be in it, there's an allowable percentage. So if you only use this many millimeters, in your system, and if it has this much, then you're still within the specs. So there are some people who are like, it can be done if you're really aware of volume and all of that. Not saying you should do it because you're still going to degrade it. But a lot of what they were talking about, not in the process of flushing, but dye the fluid, just they like having colored fluid. So first thing I have some information on the three basic kinds of brake fluid. Dot 3, dot 4, and dot 5, so we can better understand them. So dot 3 is a polyethylene glycol-based fluid that has been designed to withstand very cold temperatures without thickening.
Right.
And to endure high temperatures without boiling. The typical boiling temperature of dot 3 fluid is around 250 Celsius. This product usually has a yellow and amber appearance and a mild glycol odor. This product is slightly soluble in water. However, this does degrade the quality of the fluid if water mixes with the product. All DOT brake fluids must meet an industrial standard to be allowed for sale in the marketplace. So, polyethylene glycol base. What's dot 4? Dot 4 is glycol ether based, right, or ether based, and have an addition of borate esters, which improve its performance. What is a borate ester? It's a glycol-based brake fluids also contain a borate ester compound, which acts as an additive to improve the fluid's properties, such as its boiling point and corrosion resistance. So it's bringing the boiling point.
Right. And as a side note...
Raising the boiling point.
And as a side note, you will occasionally see dot 4 in a 600 racing application, which is a lot more expensive. They actually put a higher percentage of the borate esters in it to bring that temperature up.
Yes, so it can get to higher temperatures.
So you've got two choices with the dot 4. You've got the 600 plus racing and the normal dot 4. Right. Anyway, carry on.
Okay, dot 5 brake fluid.
Yes, the silicon stuff.
Silicon fluid, and it's used in most modern cars. It's more expensive compared to others since it has a high boiling point, and it has a dry boiling temperature of 356 degrees.
Right.
So they have these three different types, but when we're talking about adding something, we're acknowledging that all three of these are different compounds.
Exactly. And it's also worth noting that all of these are completely man-made. My argument is brake fluid technicians are far cleverer than I am, and I'm going to leave them to it. But I think the broader point I want to make is we are boneheads. We are complete boneheads, and all our listeners know that. But I also take a great deal of pride in putting out a show that if we give advice, it's fundamentally sound. Not necessarily good advice, but it's sound advice.
We're not giving advice, though.
Well, hang on. And everything we say not only couldn't get you in any kind of mechanical trouble or worse, cause you to crash your bike, or couldn't be interpreted as that. And I think the modern world that we live in, you see a lot of public figures making these ridiculous comments, and you say, how can these people who are supposedly intelligent be so stupid? And the real answer is they're not. But somewhere along the line, what they actually said was either taken out of context or taken out of understanding, and it became something else. So when you put out a public show like we do, you really have to be very, very diligent that we're not going to suggest anything that even could remotely be interpreted as doing something. And I take a great deal of pride in that.
So to continue with my findings,
yes.
I found that there are products called tracer dyes.
Right.
And tracer dyes are used in many different hydraulic systems, water systems, cooling systems, and many of them are actually not fluorescent, where you put the black light on it.
Yeah.
Phosphorant, so that you can trace leaks in systems. And the company that makes tracer dyes, I checked with them, they do make one, and it says that it can be used in hydraulic systems like brake lines, with an asterisk on brake systems, and says, but you must do a complete and thorough flush afterwards. It is only used to find a leak in a system, right?
Right.
So it is not an additive that you can add. And they themselves say you need to completely flush it. I also found another person who actually emailed one of the companies that makes brake fluid who said that there is not a dye that you can buy to put into brake fluid. But what I found is a lot of people were trying to dye their fluid like super blue and have a bottle of it. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about trying to put one drop in, possibly, and then flush it through. But I did find something that is probably the most practical idea if somebody was to experiment and try it, as many people have. And that's what I was seeing. All these people have tried it. None of them were scientific, and we still don't know if it degraded it 10%. Like, we don't know, right? But what was interesting is there are powdered dyes, powdered pigments. And that's the one I'm questioning because I understand now more of the repercussions that can happen, that it can be, gases or degrading or whatever if you add something liquid. But I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Possibly a powdered pigment might work a dry. Okay. But here's the one question. What did they put into ATE Super Blue to make it blue?
Well, you need to talk to Arte about that.
That to me is a proof that there is something, but it's kind of a fascinating thing. So the conclusion is, I don't have an answer. And also, if I was to try, say, the powder, which is possibly the safest thing, every scenario seems that you would end up having to use even more fluid to completely flush it through. That it doesn't seem like it's worth trying. There isn't a simple answer. But there are a lot of people who with videos who like, here, use this, and you have to measure this amount, and you got to use this needle, and blah, blah, blah. There are people who have done it. So that's it. I just wanted to share that we're not the only one having this conversation. It's been on repeat, rinse and repeat,
right,
over and over and over, with not the clearest answer, but some of the people out there experimenting and trying.
Liza, there is a clear answer. Don't do it.
No, because what did they use in Super Blue?
Right.
But that's...
Yeah.
But
Arte
practical. Have been making... Let me tell you something about Arte. If you buy a Mercedes-Benz, if you buy a Porsche, if you buy certain models of Lambo, if you buy very, very high-end, it's got Arte brakes in it. These fuckers know what they're doing. And they've been doing it for a long, long, long time. And I'm guessing that the blue in Arte Blue started very early in the process. Very early in the process. Right when the chemical composition was being made. And we would, number one, not have privy to that information. But number two, and this is very, very important, we do not have access to a laboratory that is hermetically sealed, which is where stuff like brake fluid is made. We don't have access to it. There aren't any clean rooms. Well, there is actually a clean room in Santa Cruz, but it's not used for that. It's by Dominican. It's used for the hospital, and they put people in it. But we don't have access to this. Yes, there was clearly something Arte put in their fluid, but it's part of their very, very secret process.
And not anymore, because it's now regulated.
Well, no, it's color. Still in other countries, in like other countries.
But when I look back at all the, and I mean this goes back forever, that there's always been manufacturers who have tried different things to make it easier to know when to change their product. I mean, I remember years and years ago there was a company called Duckham's, and I think they might still be in business in Britain. Duckham's Q, and it was green oil, like lime green. And the idea, but when it stopped being green,
it stopped being good.
It stopped being good.
That's interesting.
Well, many moons ago, back when the Earth was young, I used to work for an oil company. Some of you might have heard of it, Bellray. And being the marketing guy, I did spend some time with the chemist trying to see what can we market, what can we talk about, because there had been some errors that had been done in the marketing where they were talking about features but not benefits. This happens a lot with engineers. They talk about stuff, but they don't say why the stuff is good. So I went through the products that they had, that were on our shelves and what we were ever doing. I said, okay, what can we do? What can we work with? What can we modify? What should I tell people about? And when the subject of brake fluid came up, they said, we can't do anything. You have to understand the regulations for .3, .4, or .5 are so tight as to what it's supposed to be that we can't modify it for better performance if we wanted to. Now, there's been some variances lately, but for the most part, when you buy a bottle of .3 brake fluid, it doesn't matter whose label is on it. It's the same stuff. It's required by law to be the same stuff. So they couldn't sell it if it was something different in the bottle. So we played games with some other oils. The Thumper oil was a big thing that I was part of. That we specifically formulated an oil to work with the blow-by of 4-stroke singles, and we colored it a particular color. It was just this orange syrup. We wanted it to look different. That can be added, but in terms of brake fluid, can't do a thing. Not allowed.
Yeah. So that's it. I just wanted to share the update that I found it quite fascinating.
I have news.
Same conversations happened over and over and over.
I have some news.
Oh, yeah?
Duckham's Q is still available, and it's still green.
And it's still green.
Yes.
Yes. I assure you, it can be any color it wants to be, and it can also smell like anything you
now
want.
I like your idea better, Emma. Let's pursue that. Let's get an additive you can color it that will change color when you need to change it. I love it.
It does that.
It already does.
That's a brake fluid?
Yeah.
Yes, brake fluid does that.
Brake fluid turns brown when it's gone to shit.
Mine is not. I don't wait that long.
That's because you don't brake that hard.
As I said last time on the show, and it's terribly rude, so if you have children listening, switch off. But it's the pee test.
Yep.
When your brake fluid comes out of the bleed nipple,
and it tastes like piss, it's time to go.
and it is clear or pale yellow, that's healthy. Just as when you go and take a pee, it's clear or pale yellow. When it starts getting dark, or worse still, brown, if you go for a pee and it's brown, you better hot shoe it to the doctor immediately. And if your brake fluid comes out brown, you better go and see the motorbike doctor immediately.
And what if it smells like asparagus?
You got an STD, hon.
Stop feeding your brake master cylinder asparagus.
Yeah, exactly. Stop eating so much asparagus. I believe it's very good for you, though. Not good for people around you.
So there you go. I just wanted to, appreciate, thank you for everyone who responded. It was really the same like percentage of attitudes in every other conversation. And, a couple people say, well, why not? So it's just, I found it interesting, but also that it was such a more common concept when there was the two colors. So there you go. Thanks, government, for ruining it for everyone.
And just change your brake fluid often.
And who would have thought that a conversation about brake fluid gave me an email that made me feel all warm inside and old? I mean, you give a sticker to a child and the next thing you know, she's driving. It's just, wow.
Well, Emma, Cat has an issue. He has a problem.
Cat needs a tissue for his issue.
He's come down for us to help him solve it.
Well, obviously, I could solve this problem myself.
It's a good problem. It's a good problem.
I would like your guys' opinion, and here it is. Just recently released is our Tuscan Hillhopper training tour. And on this particular tour, we have available to us a much wider range of motorcycles than usual.
Well, hang on. Before we're going to talk about the bikes, Cat, we're going to talk about this tour because I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So look here, guys and gals. You're going to get 3 opportunities to hang out with me and Cat in Europe this year. You can do Misfits training tour in the Dolomites. That is an incredibly good tour. And there are spaces available.
Yes.
You can do Castles and Curves through Germany, Austria, France. It's a wonderful tour. You will not have any more fun than you can have on this tour. I believe there's very limited spaces on that.
We do have some spaces. My main concern on the Castles and Curves tour is really hotel availability.
Right.
I need to fill it up because we're going during kind of a popular season. In particular, we'll be staying on the Mosel River this time for 2 nights. And
fantastic. Which basically means we'll be swimming in the Moselle at 7 a.m.
You can, if
amongst
you
the
wish.
ferries. But there's a new one. And the new one is we're riding around Tuscany. This has been on my wish list now for 46 years, as long as I've been riding a bike. Tuscany, what more is there to say? It's fantastic neck of the woods. We're going to fly into Rome. We're going to pick up the bikes. We're going to spend 5 days riding around Tuscany.
Yep.
It's going to be the greatest thing. Best time of year. When is the trip, Kat?
This is October 6th to the 12th.
Anybody who knows, October in Europe is glorious.
Yeah.
So I've heard that one of the things to look out for, one of the potential issues with Tuscany, is that you might be lured into buying a broke-down villa. Is that true?
No, that's actually further south. Further in southern Italy is where they're trying to revive these old villages that have gone to shit.
But you could own a villa.
But nevertheless,
for
you could own a villa.
It's better than a timeshare.
But
It's not a scam. It's just you own a village in nowhere.
however, I want to point out, I'm sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder, Kat, but the hallmark of mine and Kat's tours are you're going to have a great time. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. You are going to eat the greatest food. You're going to stay in the greatest hotels. You're going to hang out with the most wonderful group of people. And here's the kicker. And this is the hallmark of our tours. This is why the Misfit tours were born. If you can afford a used bike, you can afford to go on one of our tours.
Yeah.
And Tuscany is no exception.
No, it is not. And the prices are pretty much exactly the same as they would be for the Dolomites tour. But really, Tuscany is made for motorcycles. It's one little town. And in between the little towns, there's these little roads that go through the villages and whatnot.
Just pause for Bagel to interject.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead. Say it, Bagel.
And scooters.
There you go.
Yeah, you can rent them in Rome. They're great.
You know, I've got to be honest with you, Bagel. I'm going to try and be kinder about scooters, and I'll tell you why. Do you remember a few weeks ago somebody wrote in and said I was being mean to you? And that really resonated with me because I feel I've treated you very unfairly over the years. And if you want to ride a scooter, that is your absolute right to do so, and I endorse that 100%.
Yeah, actually, we have some scooters available, and if you'd like, I can see what inventory exists. They're probably going to be the 400cc variety, which is what you'll want.
Wait, they have a 400cc?
Oh, you should come to Tuscany with us.
Wait, is this
Bagel.
not a Vespa?
Well, it wouldn't be a Vespa, but...
I'll have to look in. It's probably part of the Piaggio line, but I'll have to look in. They also probably have some of the larger BMW ones as well. But if you would like me, Bagel, to put some scooters on this one, I can do that.
Maybe. It's very tempting.
All right.
I will give it some thought. Thank you.
Anyway, Tuscany is perfectly designed for seeing the world by motorcycle because there's just all these great little roads through vineyards and villages and up and over hills and around about. Now, the issue that you will discover that you should keep in mind when selecting a bike is there is a very good reason that the Ducati Multistrada was made. Having that a little bit of extra suspension that can turn a shitty road into a fun ride. Yeah, not all of Italy's backcountry roads are perfectly surfaced. Some of them will feel like a racetrack, and others are a tad bumpy. So having a little bit of extra suspension or a wider wheelbase or a bigger front wheel can be helpful. So anyway, our puzzle for us today is what bike at which price level would you choose?
Now... Thank you, Kat, for sending us a list of all these bike options. I've printed it out for Charley and for Emma. Bagel, do you need me to send you the file? Do you want to see the list, or do you want to just hear it from us?
Are there scooters on the list?
Nope.
I don't know the scooters. I'll put some scooters.
No, that's why I didn't send it to you.
But the scooters will all be standard, 400cc.
And there's a lot of bikes. Can I just
go run it?
I'm going to just rattle off the bikes because then we're going to get into all of them. BMW F900R, Scrambler 800, Monster 797, a Ducati Hypermotard 698, a Moto Guzzi V7.
And those are the base
Those
options.
are the base models.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
for
different price tiers.
$150 more.
Yeah, BMW F900 XR, Moto Guzzi V85 TT, Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello. That's interesting. And then the next
Is that
price tier up.
a 200 additional, or is it just 200 more?
200.
For the week, you mean?
That for the week, it's essential.
Well, because there's a 150 upgrade, and then the next tier is a 200.
Yes,
upgrade.
the next one's the 200. The ones that follow after it says 200 upgrade
So
are
50 more than the 150.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
then the Ducati Multistrada V2, Ducati Scrambler 1100, Ducati Desert X, Moto Guzzi Stelvio, Ducati MTS V4, and the BMW 1300 GS. So you got Triumphs, BMWs, Ducatis, Moto Guzzis. Is that what we're dealing with?
no Triumphs. No Triumphs. We do have some Moto Guzzis, Ducatis, and BMWs.
What's the Scrambler 800?
Ducati.
Oh, that's a Ducati.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry. I
bad.
should have put that on there. This is
Okay.
this is Italy.
All right. So these are all the Italian and the Beamer.
And full disclosure, so I got sent this list last week.
No, it really is.
No, surprisingly enough, and Piaggio is owned by Piaggio owns Aprilia and Moto Guzzi, and yet they're not offering a rental type of bike to them. So I was surprised at that.
So I just want to ask off the bat, Charlie, you looked at this list. If you're going on this trip, which bike are you like, that's the one I want?
Well, I know what I would pick for each price point.
Well, just pick one. You have to pick one for the tour. What are you picking?
It'd be a toss-up between the F900 XR and the 1300 GS.
Ooh, really? Because for me, what stuck out was probably the Ducati Desert X.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Desert X stuck out a lot for me, but I don't feel like the roads are going to really be a lot of dirt, and that's where I would want to ride the Desert.
It's actually surprisingly fun on the street.
Yeah. But that's where I was like, I feel like on the street I'd have more fun on the 900.
Or the Multistrada, I think, sounds like a very comfortable bike. So this is an interesting list. Now, I also want to say, I think I don't think there's anything wrong with any of them.
No. I just wouldn't want like necessarily a naked bike for touring.
Right, like a hypermotard or something.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it would be you're still going to have a ton of fun on whatever bike you choose. I just kind of like having a little bit larger of a bike to where you can have your bag on it or whatever.
I want to throw out a question for you, Kat, because this is something that comes to mind. As the tour guide and host, are there bikes like the Hypermotard that maybe you don't want to offer because those are the ones that attract
Oh, you mean the hooligan?
squids.
Yeah, the hooligan
and the
machine,
hooligans.
the squids.
Is that something that maybe like, let's just take that off the list?
Well, actually, there is one model, but the thing is that they didn't have any of those available at that particular time. These what's available here, because I put how many of these numbers are available during this particular time. There is one bike that I often get a little bit nervous when people rent, and that is the S1000R, the naked bike. It just tempts you to do stupid shit.
Right. And however, I just want to add that all of our trips are new for 2024. And the new part amongst, it's always new and improved. You have to have completed the Champion riding school.
Yeah.
And show a certificate of completion to be eligible to go on the trip. And, the Champion riding school should theoretically make you a much better rider.
It's a great program.
But more importantly for us, it's a barometer of how seriously you take your riding. And if you take the time to do the course and you complete the course and you pass the course, that theoretically should weed out the squids.
How long is it? It's only like a 10-hour course, right?
Yeah. And you can dip in anytime you want. I mean, it's online.
It's all online.
It's all online.
You do it as you go.
I have another suggestion. And this goes... first off, I'm going to apologize to Bagel in advance. Bagel, this is in no way a dig. Just bear with me here. I'm going to suggest that you do rent a Vespa for this trip. And here's why. One, I think that it really needs to be tried out so you can understand the benefits of it. But two, I think you need to, much like on Top Gear, you need to have the Vespa riding behind. So if somebody gets a ticket or does something stupid or crashes, the punishment is...
that's not
You have to ride
nice.
the Vespa.
That's not
Remember
right.
on Top Gear, they'd have the little shitty...
Yeah, the shitty
following them.
It's not punishment. It's
I
giving them
know,
a
Bagel.
break.
But I also said he would also learn how wonderful it can be.
I've rented scooters before.
But I think it would keep the squids at bay.
Now, to give an example of where I'm leaning towards with this.
What are you leaning towards?
Yeah.
I'm down to a choice of two, and I think it's either the V85 TT or the Mandello.
I put the
I was
Mandello on
gonna get
here
some
just for
Mandello for you.
You'll notice there is only one of them.
And you know what?
I put it on here just for you because
I think here's what I'm going to suggest, and I'll put this out on the show. Put me down for the Mandello.
All right.
However, if you get somebody sign up for Tuscany Tour and they're crushed, they can't have it, give it to them, and I'll take the V85 because they are both fantastic bikes.
They are, but they are a different bike. We have had the V85 TT on the tour before, and it pretty much came off as it's like a miniature adventure bike.
Right.
It's like a big GS, but smaller. It's a perfect for your mid-sized to slightly larger guy, but doesn't want to ride the big giant GS.
Right.
The V85 TT is a blast.
Well, as everyone is aware, whenever I go on the Dolomites tour, my weapon of choice is the F900R BMW, which is a thug. It's basically a hooligan with a BMW badge, and I think you'll corroborate that.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah,
they are very thug-like.
It's deceptive. You think it looks like a beginner bike, but it's but it's easy to ride. But it's got some spunk to it. It's like it wants to go.
That's why I would go with the XR. Just as
right. Well, the XR is an interesting choice. When I did Castles and Curves, I upgraded to the XR, and I enjoyed it very, very much. Not quite as much as the R, because it is a bigger platform, but it helped on Castles and Curves because, of course, we're in a different hotel every night.
Yeah.
So you needed that extra bit of real estate to carry your crap around.
Well, because the R is more the naked bike,
yes.
Right? Where the XR, it's basically is it the same frame?
Similar frame.
It's pretty much the same thing, but it's
roomier.
Yeah, I think it has longer travel suspension.
Yeah,
too, right?
exactly.
Like
So are we staying in the same hotel in Tuscany and just radiating out from there? Oh, well, there you go then, you see.
Yes, we are.
So, you can do something a bit sportier. How far is it from Rome to our hotel?
We've got probably a nice 5.5, 6 hour ride ahead of us across the country.
So this is generally how our tours work. You land at the sprawling metropolis and then collect the bikes, and you can come early if you want. Couple of days early, get to see the town. And Rome, there's so much to love about Rome.
Yes, and I'm definitely, at least I don't know about other people, but my first night there, I want to take you, Emma, to my favorite place for cacio e pepe.
Oh, fantastic. And so we're going to, we usually arrive a day or so early. We'll do a rider meeting the day before, and we explain the equipment and what we expect from you and what you should all expect from us. And then we collect the bikes very, very early on Monday.
Yes.
When the bike shop opens, usually at 9 o'clock. And then we hit the road and stop for a nice lunch. In the case of Dolomites, we stop at this darling truck stop in Austria.
In the case of this tour, I know exactly where we're going for our lunch stop. It's in a small town of Radicofani, which no tourist bus could ever go to.
Fantastic. So an authentic lunch. And even that truck stop in Austria, it's authentic food, lovely people,
All right, Liza's got something for us.
I've changed my mind.
You want the V85 TT?
Well, I've been looking. So a lot of these bikes I'm not that familiar with. Really, the Moto Guzzi's I'm not. I'm playing the game of, well, if I was going to go to Italy, would this be an opportunity to try something I'm not familiar with? Like, we know that a bike like the BMW F900R is a perfect bike for this trip. It's going to be dependable, but it's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm looking at the Moto Guzzi 85 TT.
Good looking bike, isn't it?
And it looks like a little GS-ish.
It is.
It's a little GS-ish. Yeah. But also looking at the Mandela, which is also interesting.
Well, of course, you know...
it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
It looks like a concept bike. And, of course, I found on their site, here's a quote from Ewan McGregor. When I got to open up with a V100 on the Pacific Highway, it was truly an exhilarating experience.
It's very torquey.
And
that's really a hallmark of all Moto Guzzis. I mean, it's the other Italian bike. And it seemed, in a lot of ways, and I really don't want to be disrespectful to Ducati riders, but Moto Guzzi is often seen as the inferior product to a Duck. And far from it. It is a far older company by about 60 years. I mean, Duck really, from the 1940s to the 1960s, just made electrical equipment.
Well, Ducati's very much about its racing pedigree, whereas Moto Guzzi has just been about the sheer pleasure of riding.
Right, but up till Ducati came along in the 60s, Moto Guzzi had an amazing racing pedigree. And I think if you include the 1930s, the 1940s, the 1950s, Guzzis have won far more races than Ducks. It's the other product. And as you know, I mean, I've got a Moto Guzzi in my home stable, and they get under your skin. They really do.
I put in the notes for all of them with the Guzzi. There's the Guzzi grin. You just grin when you sit on
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
I found another one.
Oh, what did you find that you liked?
The Stelvio.
Oh, the Stelvio is an amazing...
Stelvio. Have you been looking these up, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's big. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
No, the Stelvio's nice.
Well, you know, Henry's got a Stelvio.
I don't think
but his doesn't look like this. The new one.
Let me see the new one.
I mean, there's not really a bad bike on this list. I mean, there's bikes.
But I'm getting more excited about the Moto Guzzis now because I've never
that's
really
a good-looking bike. Bloody
given
hell.
them that much time.
Well, that's one of the things that this particular rental shop offers is they have Guzzis, they have Ducatis. Most of the time, all we get to ride is BMWs, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They're not bad bikes. It's just you'd like to try something else for a time.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning.
There's a bike for anybody in any real skill set.
Absolutely. And I mean, you are going to need skills on a bike. I mean, you're going to need to be reasonably skillful. On the Dolomites tour, we always break ourselves up into groups, and traditionally I will lead the slowest group, which is not necessarily a slow group. We're the ones who stop for coffee and hang out and take pictures and just have a good time. But there isn't such thing as a slow group. You do need a certain amount of skill to ride it. Yeah. The one thing you don't need is any experience of traveling outside America.
Right. We're going to show you how to do it.
Yeah, and those are my favorite customers because we get people who've never set foot perhaps outside their home state before. And it's like Wonderland for them. It's an amazing experience. And we will take care of you. Everyone who goes on our trips comes back, says the same thing. We had a wonderful time. I wouldn't put my name on anything.
Now I'm kind of going back
that wasn't a good experience.
The Multistrada, I have to say.
Which Multistrada are you looking at?
The V4.
Well, here's my crunch about this particular V4. I have a V4S in my garage. I love that bike.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It is ridiculously smooth. I can go really wicked quick on it, and it doesn't feel like you're going wicked quick.
I would I didn't realize that was a multi-star. I thought that was just like the standard V4.
The issue that I have with this rental shop is they offer the V4, but not the V4S, which means it doesn't have the quick shifter on it. It doesn't have heated grips on it. I mean, it's a sport touring bike. Come on, guys.
It should have the heated grips,
I know.
but it doesn't need the quick shift.
It's ridiculous.
Does it have Skyhook?
No.
You see, so the suspension's not going to be great.
The suspension is good, but it's not great. Which leads me to say, for the same price, you can have the brand new BMW R1300 GS, which is the hot bike of the season. Everybody wants to ride it.
Now. Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking forward to riding it. I've never ridden one. It's brand new.
Are you trying to trim stuff off this list?
No, not particularly, but I can. I just wanted to see what's going to sell.
All
what
right,
do people want?
If we're just kind of like breaking this list down,
Obviously, the 1300 GS, I got tons of them. So
all right, so hold on. For the first, what we're calling the base models, at the base price.
Yeah.
This is between the BMW F900R, the Ducati Scrambler 800, the Ducati Monster 797, Ducati Hyper Motard 698, and the Moto Guzzi V7. I'd say take all of them off except for the BMW F900R. I think
I can't because there's only two of them.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying, like, somebody's like trying to choose. Well, but all those others are like smaller.
Here's what's good. The Moto Guzzi V7 is good for the smaller, light rider. You got to be light because the suspension on the V7 is a bit
soft.
But for me, I've ruled those out.
Okay.
But I think that for the budget-minded, the F900R, I think is best bang for the buck on this list.
If you're budget-minded, folks, there's only two of them, so get on and grab it.
But
best bang for the buck.
But I'd probably go with the Monster, too. Like, if the F900 was taken, I'd probably choose the Monster, and then I would choose the Scrambler.
But I think the pertinent point of all of this, if you want to do one of Kat and Emma's European adventures this year, come on, step up to the plate and book it, because we have spots on all of the trips right now. They are going to move quite quick. So this is the hard sell, guys. I will give you the time of your life.
All right, let's talk couples. If you are riding two up,
you need a bigger bike.
My recommendation, however, if you are a light couple, you're not big, and you're looking for a bargain, the bargain couples bike on this list is the Multistrada V2.
Yeah.
It's not as tall as you might think. It's only 802 millimeter seat height. It has comfortable seating in the rear, full windshield and everything. It's a pretty full, complete bike. But for only $200, you get a good, you get a fair amount with it.
If you have two people though, I'd really probably just spring for the GS.
Well, the 1300 GS, of which there are plenty, and everyone's wanting to ride, then go ahead and spring for it. But if you want to save that $200, I'm telling you where to.
And in the if we do the 150 upgrade, any one of those three in the 150 upgrade is adequate for two people. The XR certainly.
Yep.
The V85 TT
again small. It's going to have to be a small couple.
It'll be a smaller couple, and the V100 again. It's a little bit roomier.
V100's a bigger bike.
Yeah.
Okay, I am making my decision.
What do you want?
I really want to try the V85 TT. I think it's going to be adequate power. I think for me, that's the bike on this list that I'm most likely to want to own here. Therefore, I would be using this trip as a test ride.
As a primer.
You would not be the first. This happens a lot on our tours. People use the bike for a week, go home and buy it.
Oh yeah, that
happens a lot.
That's how I'm looking at this.
That's probably why there's so many gosh dang 1300 GSs.
No, because they're the brand new thing.
It's a hot thing. But that's the Desert X is probably the same thing. A lot of people are considering the Desert X, but would like to ride one for a time.
I would love to own a Desert X. That is it's the best bike in the category, but it's also the most expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I'm probably going to try the new 1300 GS. Because I know if I take one, I'm not taking the bike away from anyone else because there's plenty of them. Yep. And two, it's the hot new machine of the year.
Right. And I believe, actually, haven't I got one of those for Castles and Curves?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So I will report on that.
And get a price on a Vespa. I think, personally, not speaking for Bagel, but for just everyone, I think including that on the list is a very viable option. And I say that because riding with Bagel, who on freeway or on twisty mountain roads, he's right with me, or I can't keep up with him. I mean, either way.
It'll have to be one of the 400s
he
because
has proven to me.
We have to leave. We have to get out of Rome on the autostrada.
Bagel, would you come if we found you a good size Vespa to ride?
Well,
yeah, but what's this 400?
If you do a Vespa 300, I would be very tempted.
Yeah, what is this 400?
I'll have to look and see at the list again. Usually I'm not looking at the scooter list too because most people don't demand them.
But basically, power of a 300, you would consider it.
Bagel has convinced me that is a viable touring bike.
Yeah.
And also he can ride the piss out of it in the hills. Yeah.
Yep.
So for people who prefer that, and this is not the little scooter you ride with flip-flops to go get a cappuccino.
No.
This is a legitimate machine.
It's not the two-stroke, is it?
No.
No. It's what he rides. It's his big 300. And he has proven to me on all riding surfaces that he can get up and go. Yeah, and it's pretty comfortable. I've ridden it. The only thing I get sketched out is don't take one hand off the bar.
Yeah, they do get a bit wobbly.
The low-speed wobble is a thing, yes.
Funnily enough, and I'm sure you'll corroborate this, Bagel, if you put a top case on a Vespa, it comes in a kit. And in the kit, you get the top case, you get the carrier, and you've got this mysterious box that weighs an absolute friggin' ton. And you open the box, and there's a couple of end weights for the handlebars. They weigh about 5 pounds each. And it really does help.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like giant bullets that you put in the end of the handlebars that are full of lead, and makes them a lot more stable.
Yes.
So there's a lot of options. You've got me kind of stoked about the Moto Guzzi's. I want to know more about them, and this is a great opportunity to do that.
I think so. Like I say, they get under your skin.
They got a Piaggio Vespa 300 GTS.
Wait, but what color?
I can't choose your color.
Color is irrelevant.
Right. I'm just checking to see what I know. They also have some of the BMW scooters.
Do they have the Bieber model?
The Beaver model?
Bieber.
No, that's a 150.
The Justin Bieber. So they have a 300 GTS, Bagel. Are you coming on our trip?
You have to decide right now.
No, you do. Right now.
The pressure.
Take it or leave it.
Well, no. I mean, the thing is, if you say you're coming...
We'll forever hold it to you.
What I'm hoping is some of your fans, of which you have many fans who listen to the show.
Okay, they got the BMW C650 Sport.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Does that interest you, Bagel, or does that not count?
Not as much as the Vespa.
Yeah.
They also have a C400 GT.
So here. I'm going to ask the question for Bagel. But how many Vespas do they have? Because if Bagel's coming, he might bring a buddy or two.
I'd have to check in.
That's how Bagel rolls.
I have to check in with. Believe it or not, the guy's name is Matteo.
Matteo, and I would think it would be good because scooters travel in packs.
They do tend to.
And so, yeah.
Well, this I can confirm. I was assaulted by easily 150 old school Vespas in a town called Grivincante. They filled the entire square. The entire square was filled with two-stroke smoke. It was great.
So, Bagel, if you come on the Tuscany trip, I'll let you be the big spoon.
That's a lovely image.
All right. Well, give me some prices.
All right. Very good.
Definitely.
I'm very, very tempted.
Actually,
get them because I think it would be. You can invite people from your club to come.
Well,
that would be a lot of fun.
Are we in a position to give out prices right now?
Sure.
Yeah, come on. Let's give out some prices.
All right.
Kat.
Let me pop in. I have to literally get to my website. I know it starts at $2,650 for the base model, sharing a room with someone, but let me get to.
So just remember, while Kat's looking for the prices, I want to let you know what it includes and what it doesn't include. The price that Kat's going to give you includes hotel, breakfast, the motorcycle, Champu riding school. So basically the basics. What it doesn't include is the cost of gasoline, lunch and dinner, but we will always give you options for lunch and dinner that are within your budget. If you are running low on funds, we'll find you somewhere cheaper. If you want to splurge, we'll find you somewhere nice. Doesn't include booze. And, I tend to get through quite a bit of booze on these trips. So factor that in. But the biggest expense, and it shocked me a little bit this year because it has gone up a bit, it does not include flights. Shop around for your flights. I stand by, if you are clever, if you're really clever and you know what you're doing with Expedia, I think you could do one of our trips for well under $4,500 all in. Basically the cost of a used bike.
Okay, so if you're sharing a room, and this has happened quite a bit where two buddies share a room, that's $2,650. If you want your own room, that's $2,950. See, I'm not I'm not grabbing cash here.
Right.
And if you're a couple riding one bike in one room, it's $35.50 because believe it or not, that's how Italian hotels work. And then you already saw the prices for upgrades, $150 for the next, slob up for like the F900XR or the V85 TT, $200 for the Multistrada V2 or Desert X, and $400 for the new and hot bike of the year, the R1300 GS or the Multistrada V4.
And you can actually pitch this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oh, they'll get hooked.
But you can actually, it is good enough that you could say this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Our trips are that good. Now, if you choose to do more after you've done a trip, and as Kat quite rightly points out, they are quite addictive, but this is Europe, people. It's a budget price, but it is not a budget trip.
Well, this is the thing that led to this whole creation was I was narrowing it down to the 4 Ps of why people don't take motorcycle tours. One is phobia. People are afraid to travel because they've been living in the United States all the time. I get it. So it's fear of the unknown. You don't know how to do it. And the big one, is price. I work in the tourism industry. I sell the big tours. I know how much this stuff costs. The big tour operators, the general tour operators, have been selling mostly to baby boomers who have been rather fortunate. And this is not a price that people can, generally, a lot of other people can afford.
I just realized you're wearing a Moto Guzzi sweater.
Yeah, I did their press launch for the Moto Guzzi California years ago. And boy, the other one is, I call it pseudo fake tourist crap. A lot of reason people don't go on organized tours is because they don't want to go to the fake touristy stuff. And another reason a lot of people refuse to go on a motorcycle tour is pace, freedom of pace. A lot of people won't go because they're afraid they're going to get stuck on a tour that's too slow, or they're going to be forced out of their comfort zone and be forced to go too fast and end up crashing. And this does happen. This does not happen.
That's why you need the Vespa.
Well, yeah, we can talk about. There's a whole theory about why I think those things sell.
Can you play the Jaws theme while they're riding? Don't.
Doesn't scare me. They'll never catch me. But the problem is freedom of pace. I've been on plenty of organized tours with other providers that force everybody to go the same speed, and this is a bad idea. Because you get people who start getting frustrated for going too slow, and then you get people underskilled, and they end up crashing. You're much better off. What we do is we divide people up by squadron into what pace do you want, and that way you get to ride your pace and enjoy the road, but at your skill level.
Perfect. So. Just remember, where do you want everyone to go to find out?
LeodEscapes.com.
Leod.
Leod escapes.com.
And you'll find that Leod Escapes is a cornucopia of trips. How do you find them? Just look for the Misfit trips.
Yeah. Also, I put the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we've got our first schedule out for the track and tour things.
Sure, you mean schedule.
And there's also a link on our website as well.
Yeah.
Well, good. It seems like those are some good options. So thank you for bringing that list. Sure. That's a good problem, having too many bikes to choose from.
It's been fun because a lot of times nobody else has this array of bikes to choose from, but Italy does.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Well, I want to talk about another problem that might also affect you. It might affect you too, Charlie. It might affect you, Emma, and me too. Not so much Bagel, but it might affect us all. But I think you'll still care, Bagel, because you like to root for the underdog.
I'm a caring kind of guy.
Exactly.
I know that, Bagel.
So there's a lawsuit right now that you guys may be following, maybe not, about Laguna Seca.
Yes.
Now, many people have heard of Laguna Seca. It's a famous...
Is this that same lawsuit?
No, this is a new one this year. Laguna Seca is our local racetrack that has been around for decades. What, 60s, 70s?
No, way before that.
Way before that?
It's been around for 70 years. It's immediately
post-war.
you're
right. Yeah, it is 70.
I think
this is like the 70-year celebration, I think. Yeah, you're right. Been around a long time. And what's been happening is neighborhoods and houses have been building up and up and up, closer and closer to the track. Well, there's currently a lawsuit trying to get the track to shut down. And it's a coalition of neighbors. They call themselves the Highway 68 Coalition, who've created a lawsuit. And their complaint is that that they're saying that the motor vehicle racing and race car driving are neither allowed nor permitted uses, citing zoning and permits dating back to the 1980s. Now, who owns Laguna Seca?
The county.
Monterey County, exactly. The other thing that they're claiming is that, let's see, that the Monterey County Board of Supervisors named a new concessionaire at the track and did so without, this is so stupid, did so without getting environmental review.
Of what? Selling corn dogs?
Instead of being considered as existing facilities and normal operations of facilities for public gatherings. I don't know. This is kind of making stuff up. Here's their other claim, that the motor vehicle events have substantially increased from 2021 to 2023 when compared to 1974 until 2021.
You mean since COVID ended? Thank you.
With the increased activity has also come higher permitted noise levels, as well as increased traffic and water demands, among other concerns. Have either of you been on the track?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do they have noise limits there?
Yes, they do. Very strict ones.
Well, so they have they have strict noise limits, but there are days where they, because it's normally like a 92 decibel. There's like 102 or 105 decibel days.
But compared to other tracks, are they pretty limiting there? As
the Laguna Seca is a bit more limiting than your average racetrack when it comes to noise.
I mean, Sonoma, Thunderhill do technically have noise limits,
but they don't really have neighbors.
So,
well, yeah, they're not surrounded by rich baby boomers who are terribly concerned that someone might be having fun.
If you don't have a muffler on your bike, you will pop sound, and I've seen it where we have pop sound.
Okay, so I'm going to break this down, and I'm going to offer a gift. So,
wait, am I eligible for this gift?
Anyone is eligible for this gift. So, this is clearly absolute horseshit of the worst kind. This is wealthy homeowners who have come in and decided that even though the racetrack predates their fancy little house,
McMansion,
the McMansion. So, we've already established this is a load of shit. I would like our listeners to write in and tell us why it is a bunch of shit. And the most creative one, I'm going to give one of my prized possessions. And it really is a prized possession.
Not the leopard panties.
Not the leopard panties.
Okay. I've seen those.
I'm going to give those to Bagel. And he's the big spoon.
Oh my.
I actually have some of Laguna Seca. So back in 2016, the track was resurfaced. And if you were lucky enough to know somebody, you got a piece of the track. And I got some of the corkscrew. And it's in a glass bottle. It's labelled as the corkscrew 2016 which is what it is. So some pretty famous people have ridden on these little chunks of gravel. And I will give it to you completely free of charge. It's historic, innit? If I have to send it overseas, I might have to condense it down a little because it is a reasonable size jar. But I may have to condense it anyway, or you can come and collect it from the recycle garage. But this is a real piece of history.
It's brilliant.
It is the corkscrew. It is in a glass bottle. It is marked as such. It's a very, very nice piece. You could actually put it on your mantelpiece. And it shows it's got a beautiful relief of Laguna Seca on the side with location of the corkscrew. It's got everything. So that's all you got to do.
So, and just to further describe, one of the interesting things about Laguna Seca is it's in a bowl.
Yep.
So it's not like it's a flat area.
No, the sound is captured mostly in the bowls. So
exactly. It's in a bowl, which is what's so really cool about it. So Monterey County did respond to the lawsuit. They said, we have received inquiries about the status of the lawsuit concerning the county's operation of Laguna Seca. We are confident in our position and look forward to a speedy resolution of the lawsuit. Additionally, please note that this does not in any way impact the 2024 season. Everything is on par as usual. But it does kind of bother me because when you look historically, just here in Santa Cruz, there used to be a lot of racetracks.
Well, and this is where we might be able to enlist the help of our listeners is that while, yes, this is our local community, this track is more than just something for this county. This is a piece of Americana. This is a piece of our racing history for the whole country.
And this is the same thing.
International racing.
Yeah, this is, and I want to clarify, we're not talking just motorcycles. This is cars. This is everything.
Can I? Here's a.
Oh wait, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Do you remember? Oh no, you were there. Remember when we had dinner at that castle place in Wales?
Yeah.
And then you left. I kind of was hanging around, and on the TV in the bar, there was F1 racing, which is huge, or it might have been F3 or one of those F cars racing. And because it's huge over there, and I looked at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, it was Laguna Seca.
well,
on the TV,
it couldn't have been F1, but it was probably IMSA.
So it was something with those cars that they're doing some special event there. But I thought, how funny, we're in Wales and I'm looking at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, I mean, it's an internationally recognized track.
Yeah. Well, of course it is. I mean, just a couple of facts that will help put this into perspective. James Dean died in 1955 in his brand new Porsche Carrera on his way to a weekend race at Laguna Seca. He didn't make it. He crashed just outside Paso Robles in Chalam. Ken Miles raced a Cobra many times around Laguna Seca and was quoted as saying it was one of the most challenging tracks to drive in a Cobra. Always the corkscrew. Now, for those that have seen, that have followed Ken Miles, who knew who he was, before the film, Ford versus Ferrari tells you all about Ken Miles, who basically won the 1966 Le Mans in a Ford, was kind of robbed of first place. But so it is a world-class racetrack, and it needs our help. It needs everyone's help.
Well, and they actually said, how can people help with this? And I want to say, I think that this is bullshit. I think it's the same thing when people move next to an airport and then they sue to try and get the airport.
Oh, it's the same people who buy a house in the Castro, then upset that they have to look at a dude in leather chaps. It's like, you bought a house in the Castro.
But what they said is the best way to show solidarity is to participate actively in events. Go to a race. That's it. That's what I'm saying. That's what we need you to do.
I'm due to be there in April to ride the circuit.
Well, and it's never been quiet there. Like the last 100 years. Like there's the racetrack, there's the airport that's been there forever, and they did ordnance testing.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that because it bothers me because we look forward in July to going to the races there.
Yeah.
It is a iconic and famous track, and I don't like that there are people who are threatening it. I also know that when I'm there, when we go to our events, I've never seen like giant traffic jams. I've never seen people doing wheelies down the road. It's all respectful, you know? So, maybe you've seen stuff. Kat?
Well, I just remember that when the police chased Valentino Rossi on his scooter with his mechanic on the back, and Valentino ducked into the garages and was promptly hidden by a friend of mine. But he was on a scooter, for fuck's sake. Bagel, you know you can ride a scooter over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But nevertheless, this is your opportunity. If you are fairly articulate and good at insults, you could win a piece of Laguna Seca.
I'm feeling the words wheezing bags of piss coming along.
So yeah, just letting everyone know that that's happening. Next up, I have an announcement to make.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, I think Charley knows about it. I don't think you two know
Who's
about it.
the daddy?
No. Yesterday.
If you could see Kat's face right now. Oh, God.
Yes, dear.
Yes.
If the baby looks like a negative image, we know who the daddy is. So I sent a message out to all of our Patreon subscribers at $5 or more yesterday.
Yes.
With an announcement.
Yes.
I've designed the new shirt.
Ooh, look at that. Let's have a look at this shite.
So this is the new shirt. Bagel. Bagel, you're on the list. You saw the announcement, I believe. Do you like this, Bagel? Army green.
I have not seen it yet. Let me take a look.
I tell you what, it's a shirtless Steve McQueen.
You like? Well, no, we're not saying that. That's copyright infringement.
Well, it's a shirtless Hollywood actor.
Really cool dude on a motorcycle.
Blimey.
So this is just a reminder to all of our Patreon subscribers for $5 or more. Make sure you check your messages because it is free to our Patreon subscribers for $5 or more. If you aren't currently a Patreon subscriber and you'd like to get this, every year I make a new T-shirt. Every year I design a new T-shirt. And, you looking at it there, Bagel?
Yeah, very
What do you
cool.
think? You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went with like the Army, like Heather Green shirt.
And the beans are definitely being given in this picture.
Yeah, give it the beans.
Yes.
So, yeah, to get a shirt, just be a Patreon supporter, $5 or more. You'll get a free T-shirt once a year. So right now we're doing all the pre-orders, and I'll be shipping these out in like March, April. And then when I've shipped them out to all the Patreon subscribers, they will be for sale on our site. But
And I think it's as good a time as any to just reiterate who we are and where we're at. We say it at the beginning of every show. We are the misfits because we're all misfits. And anyone listening to this show is a misfit as well. And this is the Recycle Garage. And your Patreon subscriber money helps keep the garage open because it enables us to buy tools, to buy equipment, to buy things like tents.
Brake fluid.
And proper brake fluid.
the computers we record on. Yeah.
So this doesn't buy frivolous stuff. It keeps us going. Because if you ever visit the Recycle Garage, it's like the National Health Service for motorbikes. The one thing you will never find is anywhere to pay because there is nowhere to pay.
You can always pay me.
Yes, you can pay Charley in kind. But we offer a very, very free service. And it does cost money to run the garage. It costs money to put on this show. So you're really helping us. But, man, you're getting a cool T-shirt as well.
Charley, I would pay you for a tidy whitey bike wash. How much do you charge?
How much you got? What's the most you're willing to pay?
I've got $1.38.
Tidy whitey bike wash?
I think
I could do like $50 just for the photo op.
Current bid is $50.
Tidy whitey bike wash.
Check your emails because you do have to put your order in for it so that I can make sure all the sizes are ordered for everyone. And so that window will be open for about a month for all the Patreon subscribers to go ahead and get their order in for their free shirt. And just to clarify for anyone internationally, there's an international option, and it's the shirt is free, but it's a $20 flat fee to ship it anywhere in the world.
Right.
That's it. $20 flat fee. So next up, I wanted to share a TV show I discovered, which I found kind of interesting.
Thomas the Tank Engine, by any chance?
No. Stop it. I still can't scrub that image out of my head. Oh, just think cake farts. Okay, good. All right, it's gone.
That's better than, okay.
Yeah. So there's a show on HBO Max.
Yes.
Called On the Roam.
On the Roam?
On the Roam.
Oh, ROAM.
On the Roam, okay.
As opposed to ROME. Yeah, on the Roam.
This show is very similar to Norman Reedus' show. But this one features Jason Momoa.
Oh.
You know him, Aquaman.
Yeah.
All the
just
things, right?
Gorgeous hunk of
But he's
beefcake.
also a huge biker.
Is he?
Oh, huge biker.
Lovely. I didn't know that.
Huge biker. So this is it's a series where he's kind of traveling around and exploring things that he loves.
How does he fit through doors?
Yeah, you tell me. So I'll tell you what's interesting. So the first episode, it's him and a bunch of his biker club buddies, and they're really into 1930s Harleys. So this is him going around to some different bike builders. He's got some bikes he wants to have built, like dream bikes, right? And one of them is a 1930s Harley, but he like got a frame, but he needed to get all the parts. And he found a builder, and then Mike Wolf from Pickers, who is another big bike guy who finds parts and stores them. And between all these different resources, they pieced together a completely stock 1930s Harley that he had built for him. But what's even cooler is Jason, there was a bike he was always interested in, and this is kind of a holy grail Harley. I've never heard of it. I forget which name it is. But this was I believe, a 1936 or around the 1930s race bike. There were only 16 made by Harley. This was like buying a MotoGP bike.
Yeah.
Right? Nice. Of the time. There were 16. There's now like 8 in existence. This race bike. He's always had a dream to have a race with these bikes. Nobody wants to race these bikes, right? So he found somebody with one who let him get it dismantled and scanned and 3D printed like 4 of them. He had these, but this is him like going around to like real like salt of the earth, like bike builders and all these different, he's like finding all these different people that can have all these resources to build these fantasy bikes. And he built, 4 of these bikes that look straight out of the 1930s, and they're all made to look rough. And then they went and raced them on a like vintage motocross track.
Nice.
And it's like the first time that like people that they've been side by side.
Well, that's a classic thing. I mean, if you had shit tons of money, what would you do?
Exactly.
That's a classic example of like, if you're a motorcycle enthusiast, what would you do? Oh, I 3D print a whole bunch of these old machines and we'd all actually see if they could race them together. That's brilliant.
Right. But then like the next episode, it wasn't about motorcycles, but it was about photography. I'm not really into photography, but this is really cool. He kind of tagged along with one of his favorite photographers, this guy who photographs like poor weather conditions is the best way I can describe it.
Interesting weather would probably be better.
Like storms and stuff.
Yeah. Inclement weather.
And he tagged along with him and did like photo shoots with him. And then he bought a camera at an auction that belonged to a famous photographer who was a photographer on like Apocalypse Now and stuff like that, and has books that are famous amongst photographers. And he bought it and gifted it to this guy who's like, oh my God. So yes, he's using his money to do these things, but there's another episode where he's working with guitar makers, right? Another episode where they're just doing like metalworking stuff. It's fascinating. It's him and his passions, but his passions are for like old things and reviving and restoring
right.
old things. He loves old things.
He'd like me then.
Who says money can't buy you happiness? If this is what you say, then you don't know how to shop. Jason Momoa clearly knows how to shop.
Well, I always say money doesn't buy you happiness, but it sure oils the wheels.
So I'm just saying cool. It's kind of a cool show. Yeah. There was one episode was knife and weapon makers. So what he said is when he has a role in a movie or a show where there's going to be weapons, he actually goes out to these knife makers and he designs that with them, and it helps him create his character.
Yep.
And so he gets really, really into like these prop making knives and having like these real things made, and it's fascinating to watch him. And he even took his kids on one and they made knives together. Yep. So it's really cool. It's about craftsmanship. It's about appreciating and respecting vintage things. So I highly recommend it.
Oh, I'm big respect because it sounds to me like he's after something that's very important to me in my business, and that's authenticity.
Yeah.
He's really into the authentic experience.
Now, I'm going to warn you, Emma, the only thing that you may not like is Jason in like that first episode where he had a vintage bike made, all the parts found, put together. He had it painted his favorite color.
Which is?
Pink.
That's okay.
It's a little odd looking. He's like, I know a lot of the purists are gonna hate this.
Yeah, but this is a dude who can take off his shirt and
eat you.
Yeah, so
well, what color?
He can get away with pink.
What color is my turbo wing? Pink.
But the Goldwing purists aren't complaining about that.
Oh, they do. Trust me. Years ago, I put that bike on a Goldwing forum. Oh, God, I'm still getting hate mail for it now.
Speaking of mail.
Yeah, so we got some emails. So,
you've got mail. Do you want me to pass it to Charley?
I gave you the long one because your British accent makes it sound more interesting. I'm going to send this one to Bagel, but first, I have one that I need to share here. Then we need everyone's help with this one. This one is called Leader of the Pack.
Or Packer of the Leads.
No, Leader of the Pack. This one is from Chris. He says, "Ahoy, Misfits."
Ahoy, Chris.
I was reading about the 1964 song Leader of the Pack.
The Shangri-Las.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. To see what motorcycle was used for the revving engine sample on the song.
Oh.
The Wikipedia entry doesn't say, but a Facebook page claims it was a Harley Davidson. What do the finely calibrated ears of the Misfits have to say? Keep up the great work. And as always, the rubber side down and the shiny side up. So I looked into this. And there's stories. One story is that that somebody had to bring a motorcycle into the recording studio and take it up stairs and like into like an office where it's not supposed to be, and then that's like the lore. But then people who were part of the recording session or one of the Shangri-Las once said that, oh yeah, it was just a pre-recorded sound you could buy, right? A sound effect that we used. But interesting enough, I also found some live shows with the Shangri-Las where they did actually have a motorcycle come on stage. One of them, it was obviously they were lip syncing to the song, and there was somebody just revving, and they weren't even revving in pace.
That's tacky.
But when they were on tour, there was an opening band, the Zombies.
Yes.
And the drummer of the Zombies, his job was to ride a motorcycle up on the stage and rev it for the song. So they've actually have done that. So I did get a clip.
Okay.
So we're going to use finely tuned ears to see if you can identify what kind of bike this might be.
That's when I fell for leader of
That's
the pack.
a panhead.
Ooh.
That's a panhead.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm hearing the V twin long stroke, but I'm deferring to Emma's expertise on that one.
That was such a fast answer.
It's definitely an older one.
It's this fucking panhead.
But
if ever there was, that's a panhead.
So,
which means it would be quite a new bike at the time.
So the song came out in 1965.
Well, panheads were around. from...
Oh, stop. Do you want to hear it one more time?
No. It's a panhead for sure.
Right, I'm just going to play it for our listeners so everyone can hear. Ready? Oh, wait. There we go.
That's when I fell for leader of the
Yeah, it's a panhead. It's got that raspy panhead because a knock sounds a lot different.
And I'll agree. I mean, it is going to be, it's, you can tell that it's a twin, not a single.
No, it's a twin. It's a panhead.
Interesting. I could not actually find anywhere that it said, and I think it probably was a sample, and they probably didn't know. They said, we need a motorcycle sound.
Right.
So I'm going to make it official. If anyone can go on the Wikipedia page and update it.
Say it's a panhead.
Say it's a panhead, because Emma said so.
You're now a source.
Well, hopefully somebody who actually rides a panhead, and they're getting kind of few and far between. The pans were kind of, I'm not going to say forgotten, but everyone really gets all steamed up over knuckleheads.
The panhead engine replaced the knucklehead engine in 1948 and was manufactured until 1965, and then was replaced by the shovelhead.
Right, and it's kind of, and very, very early on in 65, you could have like pan shovels, which is basically a panhead on a shovelhead bottom end. But yeah, so it'd be basically a brand new panhead.
All right, Emma, you have an email there to read.
I do indeed. I've also got a cat sitting next to me, which always makes me happy. Hey there, chuckleheads. This is Matt from Utah.
Hey, Matt.
I made the journey ride from Utah to visit you in sunny Santa Cruz just over a year ago for the 500th episode.
Matt was just in the desert with the guys.
Yes. It poured down with rain then as well. While I was there, I told your fearless leader, Liza. I told your fearless leader, Liza. I like Liza the Liza.
No, you don't.
Okay, sorry about that. About my plans to retire from my law enforcement career in the next year. Well, here we are a year later, and I done did it. And to celebrate, I loaded my family up in a truck with a fifth wheel, and we're travelling to the East Coast. Not to cast any shade on you folks. Well, you already have, Matt. We left on December 28th, and as of today, we've visited 6 states, travelled 3,500 miles, and somehow not accidentally left anybody during a gas stop. As of this moment, we're in Biloxi, Mississippi. Our next planned stop will be in Mobile, Alabama. Can't think of anything to say. I can't even think of saying that without a slack-jaw southern drawl. Mobile, Alabama.
It's probably my personal hell.
Yes. Oh, yeah, motorcycles. Along the way, I was able to rent a bike in Tucson.
Great.
From Twisted Road.
Oh, glad that worked out.
I've rented from them before, and I left on this trip with my helmet and gloves packed with me in the hopes of some fun rides along the way. As luck would have it, a good friend of mine and his family had flown to Tucson to play there with us. So guess what? He rented one too. Kat.
Yes.
What is Emma's favourite thing to say? What is the greatest thing in the world?
Riding with your friends.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
I know that.
I thought it was gin and pickles.
Actually, I know she's rather fond of wine, so much so that she'll steal it from the restaurant.
Well, yes. Well, Our Saxon steeds for the day were a pair of Triumphs. Yeah. My friend had an older speed triple that appeared to have made it through some hard times. I hopped excitedly onto a 23 Trident 660, both great bikes. While it was still chilly for Arizona, we made the best of it and rode all day. We had some fun twisty canyon roads that tease their never end, some longer stretches of highway to get some high-speed runs, and several smaller towns surrounded by craggly mountains. And true to the motto, live to ride, ride to eat, we found a cool little Mexican place in a small town. Now listen, if you are eating Mexican food in New Mexico, you are eating... Oh, in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. No, you're getting
eating Mexican food.
You're getting proper Mexican food.
Yes. The kind of town that didn't even have a stoplight. We parked the bikes in the sun, hoping to summon a little warmth while we were inside. And wouldn't you know it, after some great tacos and a can of Coke, we came out to warmth and sunny skies. Long story short, it was just what I'd hoped for. We since stayed many nights RV camping in rain, cold, humid heat and salty sea breezes. We still have 3 more months on the road, and I'm looking ahead to big towns where the rental bikes will be cheap and easy. That's kind of like me. Cheap and easy. And yes, I'm already anticipating a stretch booster in Florida. I have a suspicion you won't have any trouble finding them. Hopefully it comes with a snorkel because it'll have me drowning in bitches. Wow. Cheap and easy, I guess.
Right. Basically, two giant butt cheeks and a thong that go on the back of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And between now and the journey's end, I'll enjoy putting my headphones and enjoying a good laugh with you, great folks, and our dear friends from Cleveland. Who?
Huh?
You know.
Oh, those guys?
They drink a lot.
Yes, the drinkers. The lushies. Thank you. Oh, isn't that awful? Thank you over and over for the great show. You're probably bombing the roads and trails of Hollister right now. No, we're not. I wish I could be there too. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to make it out there this summer. It would be lovely to see you, Matt. So thanks, Matt, from Utah and other places. Oh, hell, there's a PS. Here's a pic of the trip, including that sexy 660 adorned with a Corbin seat, splash of red, and what I think is a cool aftermarket headlight and screen. And I tell you what, I was looking at this. Oh, God, it is a good-looking bike. Look at that bottom picture. That is a killer-looking bike.
Yeah, that is nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I like that cutaway on the tank.
That's a pretty good application of Twisted Road, though, is to do your travels across the United States and then you pop in at various different locations and rent somebody's bike.
Yeah, we need to do another plug for Austin. Austin, if you're listening, come on the show again, because we like having you on the show because you're a good egg.
Well, cool. Thanks, Matt. We have one more email. Bagel, you have it there?
I do. This is from James Miller.
Hey, James.
A relative of yours, perhaps?
We're all related.
And James writes, "Hello, Misfits.
Hello, James.
It's
Cheers,
maintenance
James.
season again, and I've got several projects to do between my 2019 Street Triple and my wife's 2019 Royal Enfield INT 650 before spring."
We call those Royal Oil Fields, you know. Royal Oil Fields.
January was just too cold in the garage to do anything. Haha, no, I was just being lazy. Yesterday, I was going to change the front pads on the triple, but when I removed one side, they looked fine. So I threw the micrometer on them and measured 4 millimeter of pads. So, job done. I'm just waiting on the oil filter to get here from India to do an oil change on the Enfield and adjust the valves while I'm there. Then I have new tires to do as well, as the originals on the Enfield are dated 2018, and I don't want to put my wife out there with tires that old.
Oh, no, it's time, darling. Yes.
A little hard.
If you're running short on time, you can snip the above out if you read this on the air. But it's time to change out the coolant on the Triumph, and it has, of course, Triumph HD4X coolant in it, which is no longer available as Triumph says to use their new spec coolant, which requires a full flush beforehand. While I can, I'd rather not, as it would be easier to replace it with some same specs coolant made by another brand. My problem is the confusion caused by the different coolant specs. It appears that Xerox has a coolant for anything under the sun, but I'm not sure which of these is compatible with the HD4X that's in there. The two that seem correct to me are G48 and G05, but I can't tell which one is compatible with the current coolant. Okay. Alternatively, it looks like Motorex M5.0 might be compatible. It's so confusing that I'm frozen trying to choose the right antifreeze. Help! Much love. One random listener here, James.
James, I'm going to tell you what to do, darling.
I'm going to stop you there. Before you give the answer, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you use the food coloring in the coolant?
No!
Come on.
But funnily enough, coolant will always tell you when it needs changing anyway, because it starts losing its vibrant color.
Yep.
Okay.
And you could always pee in it.
You can pee in it. So for your Triumph, here's what you're going to do. Triumph insist on their spec coolant because they worry about the compound of the aluminum in the engine, which does have some magnesium in it, just the head gasket and all stuff like that. Zerex Blue is perfect for that application. So, here's what you do. You find the lowest point on the cooling system, and forgive me, I just can't remember on the Triumph. It'll either be the lower hose or the water pump, and the water pump may have a drain in it. Get your garden hose, stick it, get either the bottom hose off or the drain bolt in the water pump, whichever is the lowest point. Get your garden hose and just stick it in the filler and just flush everything out. You've got to say, hang on, wait a minute. This is normal water. You're flushing it. You're flushing it. You're flushing it until it comes out as clear as it goes in the top. Then what you're going to do is you're going to leave that drain bolt out for a few, couple of hours, make sure all the drips come out. You're going to put it back in, and then you're going to put Zerex Blue in it. It's going to be lovely. And your Triumph will run cooler than ever before. Manufacturers often make a big deal about coolant, and rightfully so, because you don't want to put anything in there. But you're absolutely right. Zerex do coolant for everything. And as long as you use a coolant which is suitable for an aluminum engine, an aluminum alloyed engine with a magnesium content in it, and blue is suitable for that application, you are just handy and dandy.
What do you think they used to make it blue?
Well, it's coolant, darling. It's not brake fluid.
Just trying to find out. Just researching.
So, tra-la-la. There you go. Yeah, but this applies to a lot of things. It's very, very easy to become paralyzed by a decision, because you read these things and you go, oh my God, if I do the wrong thing, my bike's going to explode, or this, or this, or this, or this. And in some cases, you really need to be very, very focused on doing the right thing. In a lot of cases, you're not, and I guess experience just comes with knowing what you can use and what you can't. All manufacturers have their pet lubricants. Suzuki of X-Star right now. I think Suzuki are all about X-Star, and Ducati. I think it used to be called NE. Or is it that the new name for it?
Well, they're also hot on Shell, but we're back to government specs.
Right, exactly.
So it's the same stuff.
It's basically the same stuff, and I know Triumph recommend Castrol,
but the label's different. It says a different name on it.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And so it can be a little bit easy to get paralyzed by it. But believe me, if you flush the system, and if you're worried about contamination just by flushing it with tap water, and that's valid, because you don't want to leave any in there. Just get purified water, get distilled water, and flush it with that. But the key is leave that bottom hose off, leave the drain out, pour it in the filler, and just let it flush through. Here's word of warning. If you have little pets, antifreeze, especially older antifreeze, is irresistible to your pets.
I thought they put like a bitter agent in it now, because the glycol in it tastes sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Don't take the risk, and that might apply to antifreeze that you buy on the shelf.
Right.
But number one, Triumph was made in England, and I think the rules are slightly different there, and it may have the original coolant. So don't take the risk. Make sure you catch up not only all the coolant that comes out of it, but also all the flushing agent, whether it's from a tap, whether it's from purified water. Make sure you collect it all up and dispose of it properly, because if you do have pets or other pets in the neighborhood and they drink it, it's going to be fatal. So, yeah, you don't want to be responsible for killing Tiddles, the neighbor's cat.
Yeah, I don't cause kidney failure.
I changed my mind again.
You did?
What?
I think I'm back to the Stelvio.
You want to try the Stelvio?
Yeah, Stelvio is a great looking bike, isn't it?
It's a hard choice. Well, there you go. Send us your emails. We want to hear from you. motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. And, I'll tell you, Emma, we have a visitor coming next week.
Really?
Yes. You're going to have to wait and see who it is.
Oh, I'm excited.
We have somebody joining us.
I love visitors.
I know. They're traveling. They said, hey, can I come join you for the show? Yes, you can.
Cool.
Exactly.
And we actually encourage, if anybody wants to come and hang out with us at the garage or come and do the show, please come and do it. It's a lovely place to hang out.
And hey, if you're traveling and need to make a little bit of extra money, the going rate right now is $50 for a tidy-whitey bike wash. Just saying.
Not the going rate, it's the current bid.
No, if they want to underbid you, if they want to offer, they'll do it for $40. They can make some cash. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
But $50 for a tidy-whitey biker wash and a one blue sock.
Okay. Well, the I haven't heard the howling wind. Can you hear it out there?
No, apparently it's supposed to be blowing right now, but
So hopefully things have calmed down and it's safe for everyone to get home. Thank you, Kat, for coming down here in a storm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma, for making it. I know you both, and Charley. Everyone encountered some roadblocks of some kind.
Safe travels.
Darling, it is all about putting out the show. Yeah. But this was important to me because I really believe in these European trips we do.
Oh, they're a blast.
They're an absolute blast. And, I really want to encourage people to go on them. We're going to do them regardless. Yeah. So But I want everyone to have the opportunity to have the fun that we do on them, which is basically why I do such a hard sell on them.
Yeah, well, in point, it's to teach people how to do this on their own. You can do it. You're a motorcycle rider. You should not be intimidated by travel.
I just thought of, how come you don't have Benellis on this trip?
But you're talking to me. It's
That's Italian.
I control what these. Most of the time, all we get is BMWs.
Yeah.
Do they sell Benellis in Italy?
Yes, they do, but that is not part of the Piaggio group, as far as I know.
And I think they look down their nose at them now. They're made in China. Yeah. It's not like the day. It's not like the days of the 750 Say or the 500 Quattro.
Yes.
So go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. You find the links to everything there. That's where you also go to our shop to claim your free t-shirt, which brings us back to thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. Yeah. This is how we thank you. So get those shirts. That's one thing I love about going to events and seeing all the shirts, spotting people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's fun.
And, just a reminder that in the unlikely event that there are any complaints about this or any other show, direct your complaints to Phil at Cleveland Moto.
I think we're supposed to say clevelandmoto@gmail.com now.
At gmail.com.
Because that was actually Phil's private email. He didn't appreciate it.
Well, that's
but
okay.
They do appreciate getting complaints about us. So, clevelandmoto@gmail.com.
Yeah, it gives them things to talk about between beers.
Since it is, cold there.
Yeah, and that's right.
Yeah. So, there's another show. Thank you, Kat, for coming. That was was fun to get into the Moto Guzzi's. You kind of got me excited. I want to go look at Moto Guzzi's.
They get under your skin.
I want to go find one of the V85 TTs. It's a beautiful bike.
You can go visit my client in Tahoe. He has one in his garage.
That's too far. I want to go find
I was riding one last week.
I want to go see one. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. We really appreciate it. Time to get out of here. This is Liza.
Emma, darling, give it the beans.
Charlie.
This is Kat. Ride the dream.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.